what is going on. I know you're all dying to know what's going on with Project 250R, and we are going to get to that later on in this video. But before we get started, I kind of want to do a company highlight and product highlight because I've been getting some parts in from a couple companies and I can't really make videos on them just yet because we haven't gotten to the stages of Project 250R where we're going to be utilizing these parts. So that being said, there's a couple companies that are sending me some really trick parts just for me on this build, and that really means a lot to me. They're helping me out more than they know, so I did want to make special mention. And today we're going to be talking about Nelson Precision Manufacturing. Now, some of you guys in the 250R community may already be familiar with NPM. They do make some trick parts. They've made them before, and they're going to be making them more in the future. So they hooked me up with a couple parts. I'm going to hop right into it. I have a box of parts right back here. I did already open it. Not going to lie, guys, I couldn't wait. But let me show you what's in there. All right. So as you can see, guys, I already opened the box. I just could not wait. So I kind of tried to repackage it as best as I could, and we'll just pretend to be surprised this time. But I did want to note that this stuff came really well packaged. You can see there's all kinds of buffering and stuff. Boom. So for you guys that don't know, NPM makes billet parts for the 250R. I will show you their Instagram and their website. Look at that stuff, man. This stuff is so clean. And it's funny, when I open this up, I haven't opened these packages yet. I didn't repackage this. But just looking at it, even in the bag, the first thing that comes to my mind is precise. Like all the edges are super clean. It doesn't look like there's any burrs or anything that needs to be cleaned up. And that's exactly what's in the name, Nelson Precision Manufacturing. So this is the steering stem brace or clamp. Really nice part. These are more exhaust clamps. That's what the this one here is too. I believe this is for the silencer. It goes right on top and then bolts to the frame. Another mount. We'll have to open that up, see what's in there. And this is a really nice piece. We'll have to crack all this stuff out of the bags to really get a good look at this stuff. This is the rear brake reservoir. All right, let's get this stuff open. All right, so we have everything laid out right here. Now there will be more parts coming on the way. This is just what NPM has sent me so far. We're actually going to be getting a cool head, a clutch cover, and we might even be getting a stator cover, which those parts are probably going to be even more impressive. But I did want to take some time to show you these parts in the meantime. And now out of the bag, you can see these things are crispy. There's no burred edges, nice and smooth, very even finish. This is top-notch stuff right here. Here's that rear brake reservoir. Dude, this thing looks awesome. It's little stuff like this that really makes a bike stand apart. But just look at the fit and finish on this thing. Now these here are radiator mounts. These are for the upper radiator mounts. They replace your OEM ones. And it will definitely give your bike a trick look. Same as the other parts, real good fit and finish. No sharp burrs or edges or anything, really good quality. Now these three here are exhaust mounts. Go ahead and show you this one. You can see there's a rubber grommet in there to help with vibrations a bit. And of course, you've got all your mounting hardware here. I believe all of this is stainless steel. And something I wanted to add, all this stuff was packaged really well. Not that that is the most important thing. You know, it always comes down to the product, which is fantastic. But this is like that extra step that I noticed some companies taking, because this is completely unnecessary. You can see they have a little breakdown. This is for the exhaust mount. They tell you, you know, they got the grommet in there, the spacer, the sleeve, which way is the front and whatnot. And they have their contact on there, you know, like front and center. So if you have any questions or anything, they're not afraid to deal with, you know, customer service, making sure that you're happy with your product. Now these are definitely some really trick parts, and they're gonna set this bike apart from the pack. But what's really gonna be impressive is when we take our quick clutch cover and see what that piece looks like. So I took this Hinson cover and sent it to NPM, and they're actually gonna be machining me or CNCing me a brand new cover that's custom to my logo and this quad. So I'm super excited about that, and very, very thankful that you guys are doing that for me. I really appreciate it. I can't do any of this stuff on my own. This is all a collective effort. A lot of people have been helping me out on the forums and everything, and NPM is no exception. You guys are really helping me out a ton on this build. Now also we have the stator cover that may also be built by NPM. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but regardless if it is, I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely stunning piece, and it's definitely going to make the bike look awesome. Some other pieces that we have to look forward to are a billet water pump cover and also a cool head for the engine, which is being designed currently. I can't wait to see those parts. The more intricate they are, the more impressive I think they are, and it's just badass. So Nelson Precision Manufacturing was established in 2003. It is a USA company. It's run by a father and son, small-time company. I really like companies like that, and obviously their attention to detail and precision is bar none. They're actually more well known for making custom parts for firearms, and anybody who is involved in the firearms industry knows that when it comes to fit and finish and perfection, there is just no compromise in that industry, and you can expect that same level of perfection in your 250R parts. So if you guys are looking to trick out your 250R, you can find these same parts on nelsonprecisionmanufacturing.com, and you can also go ahead and give them a follow on Nelson Precision Manufacturing. Definitely give them a like and follow, even if you're not getting the parts, if it's something that you're interested in, because it's definitely going to help them out. Give these guys a following. I like to try to give everybody a helping hand and really help grow the industry. The more we help these guys out, the more parts they can make for us, and I'd really like to see that they can make that cool head and a stator cover and make that available to everybody, because parts are starting to become scarce for the 250R. So definitely, if you can, hop over to their Instagram and give them a follow. All right, now moving on to some other things. I want to talk about a couple upcoming things that I have planned for the channel, a couple changes. I wanted to get your guys' opinions on that. And I also want to go over what's been going on with Project 250R, because I know I haven't really shown too much progress with that. So we're going to get into that right now. All right, so we got some parts. So we definitely got some parts. And there's more coming too, guys. So basically this is what's been going on with the project. I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, working on our motor setup. I've been in contact with FTZ Racing, CT Racing, Eddie Sanders Racing, most of the big names, and just kind of figuring out how I want to set up this motor and who I want to go with. It is somewhat going to come down the cost, because you know, anybody who's built a 250R or any quad really, you know, the parts just start to get out of control. So I want to build the quad right, but I also want to get the most cost-effective route. So that's what's been going on with the motor. I'm pretty sure I have the suspension and everything sorted out, and I've just been slowly ordering parts. So I've just kind of been ordering things as I'm seeing deals. As most of you know, a lot of this stuff is really expensive, and being patient and waiting for a deal definitely pays off. I know you guys hammered me on buying the actual 250R. Because I paid $3,000 for it, and a lot of you guys thought that was way too much, and I definitely could have waited for a better deal. Regardless, I've been waiting for a little bit more of deals in the parts department, and it's been paying off pretty well. So what we have right here in front of me, we've got some whole shot tires. These are MXR 6s, and these are my all-time favorite tire. Hands down, it's just such an iconic tire. The tread pattern on it just says motocross all over it. I remember seeing these tires on all my favorite 450s and 400EXs and 250Rs when I was a kid in Dirt Wheels magazine, and I always wanted a set of them. I never had them. Aside from like used ones that came on quads, and they were usually pretty whooped, I never had a new set. I never actually had a new set of tires until I built the Banshee, but I never had the MXR 6s or ITPs in general, because they're a more expensive tire, and generally you get what you pay for in parts. I'm really excited to run these, and I got a really good deal on these too. Summit had them for, it was $300, including shipping, for all 4 tires. Most of the competitors were around like $385 to $400 for all 4 tires. So they're $300 free shipping. You have to piece it together on eBay. That's how I did it. So if you guys are looking for MXR6s, definitely check out Summit Racing on eBay or directly through Summit. You might be able to get the same deal. Some other parts we have here, we've got some ODI lock-on grips. That's a type of grip that people have been hammering, telling me to get nonstop. Everybody says these ODI lock-ons are the best. I've always run regular grips. I usually run Pro Taper and I love them. I have nothing bad to say about the Pro Tapers, but we're gonna try these out for this run. So this should be pretty cool. Got a primary drive X-ring chain. It's gold. It should match the color scheme really nice. Nothing crazy there. Got some new sprockets, front and rear. We got a 14 tooth front and a Vortex. I think it's a 38 tooth in the back. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's a 38, which is just about stock gearing. I think stock is 13 in the front and 38 in the rear. I could be wrong, but I bumped it up 1 in the front, if I remember correctly, just so that we can stretch out the gears a little bit longer because the motor is going to have a lot more power than it would stock. And we also have a Motion Pro throttle cable, nothing exciting there. And you may have seen in the last video, I picked up this RPM Dominator axle, which is absolutely beautiful. DBC Racing hooked me up with this. It's used, but it's basically new. It came off a Lobo built 250R and it's in excellent shape. And we also have this quick change clutch cover. This is going to save a lot of time and it's going to look really trick once this is vapor blasted. And we have that custom NPM cover on there. So some other parts that I already have in the mail, I have a set of OMF bead locks that are going to be going on the back. They're flat black with gold bolts and they look absolutely sick. I cannot wait till they get here. They're probably going to take like a week or so because they have to powder coat them, and I think they are custom made. When they put the bead locks on and everything, they use DWT wheels, if I am not mistaken. So that might take a little bit of time. And then I have the DWT Rock Out front wheels that are going to go with these MXR6 front tires. That should look really nice too. I imagine they'll come with the OMFs. So I will be showing those in a future video. And I also scored a Hauser -1 swing arm. So instead of running the factory Pro Link, we are going to have an aftermarket Hauser swing arm. It's purple. It's pretty badass. I'm going to show you a picture right here. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to get it sandblasted and powder coated. And as a side note, for some of you guys that don't know, the 86 and 87 250Rs came with a swing arm that I believe was 19.5 inches long. And then in 88 and 89, they shortened it up to 17.5 or 18.5. It's 1 inch shorter in the 88 and 89, which was supposedly an improved design. That's why you see a lot of the aftermarket swing arms for the 86 and 87 as -1s. Sometimes I think they even have -2s. But just in case anybody's wondering, like, why would you get a -1? It is going to be a motocross quad, and from the research I've done, the -1 is going to be a little bit of a better setup. So some other things that are going to be going on while we're waiting for parts. Some of you guys may have seen in one of my last videos that I removed the skid plate tabs on this frame, and it really pissed a lot of you guys off. Especially this guy right here, who made it a point to list several comments letting me know just how stupid and retarded I am. And I think it's kind of funny. You know, I like to think of myself as a pretty well-rounded person in this industry. I'm pretty generally well-knowledge with motors and whatnot, and but I am definitely by no means beyond fault, and I'm not a professional motocross rider, I'm not a professional builder or anything like that, but the knowledge that I have, I do typically think is pretty good, and I like to try to relay all the best information that I can to you guys. And in that video, I still don't think I was 100% incorrect, but you guys, I listen to all you guys. You know, I like to read the comments and everything, and many of you guys have much more experience than I do in a lot of things. So the comments were basically generalized around not running a skid plate is probably not the best idea. And I got several comments. It wasn't just that one guy, and I'm just busting your balls, man. But basically everybody was saying it's probably not the best idea not to run a skid. There's something that I was aware of, but I didn't fully think of. It's called casing a jump. And it's when you hit a jump and you come up too short, or your suspension maxes out and the frame hits the jump. So dirt can get wedged up in your frame rails. It can destroy your case. And what's really concerning is that when your frame rails dig into the jump, that can send you over the handlebars instead of gliding over the skid plate. And that's something that I don't want happening to me. So what I'm gonna do is weld those tabs back on. It's not a big deal. I saved all the tabs and everything. It will be no problem. So that is gonna be coming up pretty soon. I've decided to invest in a nice welder. So instead of going to my buddy Nolan's shop just to weld those two tabs on, I'm gonna try and get it done right here. Now regarding that video and why I took the tabs off in the first place, I'm not claiming to be a motocross rider, definitely by no means, but I do have some motocross experience. A lot of you guys are ripping me up in the comments saying this guy has zero experience whatsoever, and that's not true. I actually used to ride the practice tracks at Breezewood Proving Grounds, if you guys are familiar. They have an expert track there, an intermediate track, and I believe a kiddie track. And it's been like 10 years. So like in high school, I used to go out there and we would just hit the practice track on practice days. Didn't do racing or anything like that, but you know, we'd rip the quads as hard as we could and we'd be racing against each other, having fun. We were clearing all the jumps and stuff. So it's very similar riding. And I used to ride a 400EX and I used to run without a skid plate sometimes, and I never really had any issues. And I noticed that a lot of guys out there didn't have them. So that is where my experience came from. And I didn't just put that up from my experience. I did do some forum research. And there were guys going both ways. Some guys said they don't run skid plates. Other guys said you're an idiot for not running a skid plate. So I do see the importance of running one. And just want to relay this information to you guys. And I think for this build, I am going to run one. I'm not going to be riding at a competitive level. So I think the extra few pounds of putting that skid plate on there is worth running, instead of running the risk of casing a jump or, you know, smashing dirt up into the in between the frame rails and cracking the case. I think it's worth it. So thank you guys. I do listen to your comments. So you have persuaded me. This time around, I definitely think it's a good idea to run the skid. Okay guys, so as far as Project 250R goes, that is what I have for you today. There is one other thing that I want to bring up. As we are getting all these parts together, there's kind of been a lot of downtime and I've been having some trouble thinking up content for you guys, and I don't want to be putting out BS either. So I've been coming up with a couple ideas for content and I wanted to get your opinion. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you've seen I like to post my subscriber rides, builds, and things like that and stuff that's going on in the shop. And I get several submissions a day. People send me in these beautiful quads and dirt bikes. And unfortunately, I can't share them all. I usually get about 5 to 15 submissions a day. And I usually only post once or twice a day. So you can imagine how backed up my inbox gets. And I'd really like to show off some of these awesome quads and dirt bikes. It's an opportunity for me to give you guys more content, and it's an opportunity to put you guys in the spotlight because this channel wouldn't even be possible without you guys. So the requirements for Bike of the Week would be that you have several nice pictures and at least one good video of the quad or bike and some kind of story behind it. Whether it be how hard you worked and how long it took you to save up to build the bike that you want, or you know, you built it with your pop when you were younger, some kind of thing like that. People like to hear details like that. So if you're gonna make a submission, at least be willing to give some kind of details like that. Now, you don't have to do that off the bat because a lot of people are gonna enter submissions, and I'm sure you don't wanna spend your time making all this content and sending it to me and only to be disappointed if you don't get chosen. So what I'm gonna ask is that if you would like to be submitted into Quad of the Week, just send me a nice picture of the quad or bike and below that, Quad of the Week. So that way I will know that it's something to take into consideration for Quad of the Week. If you want, you can include details. The more that you include, the more likely I will be to pick that one. And once I choose one, I will reach out to you. And then at that point, if you want, you can send more pictures, the video, and any kind of details so that I can share it with everybody else. So if you guys think that's a good idea, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you'd like to submit your bike or quad to Bike of the Week, please just shoot me a DM with that picture and Bike of the Week, and I will definitely take you into consideration. Okay guys, so that's gonna wrap this one up. By the way guys, if you notice this t-shirt that I have on, it is the Project 250R t-shirt. It came out way better than I thought it would. I designed this myself. It is available in my Teespring store. On the back, it says "Making Quads Cool Again" with the American flag, and my YouTube channel link, of course. All the sales do help the channel out. I tried to make the profit margins as small as I possibly could on Teespring so they're affordable for everybody. But definitely hook yourself up with one. I appreciate anybody that gets one. There's also some other t-shirts on there too. But they're nice quality t-shirts. You can get this one for $18.99, and there's one on a lower quality shirt for $15.99, and I ordered that one too. It's pretty nice as well. They're both really nice t-shirts. All right guys, so until the next one, you guys have a good week and I'll see you in the next video.